Hi everyone, it's Warren Griffin with RE/MAX, giving you some great real estate information you need to know. Hi everybody, it's Warren Griffin again with some real estate tips that you need to know. I'm honored to have a good buddy of mine here today, Greg Wheeler. How long have I known you?
I've known you for at least 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, we've sold a lot of homes together.
Yes, we did.
You've helped builders I've worked for in sales. You've helped us sell a lot of homes and taken care of a lot of people. So definitely appreciate that.
Well, we're here today to talk about new construction because that's a real alternative to a lot of people, especially with the inventory of homes being as low as they are right now. And there are some distinct advantages with building a home versus purchasing an existing home. But Greg, I want you to just kind of, first of all, you're working for Pyatt Builders.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your experience and your history, and then I'll ask you a few questions.
That sounds good. Well, my name's Greg Wheeler, sales manager at Pyatt Builders. We're a Carmel-based builder serving the greater Indianapolis market from Kokomo to Shelbyville, from Pittsboro to the far east side of Indianapolis, out in New Pal. Have several locations. The price range anywhere from the 130s to 500,000, covering quite a bit of the gamut there. I started out in this business 20 years ago, which is actually when I met you, Warren. You were one of our all-star realtors bringing business to the company I worked for, and I was a salesperson there. And the thing I like about the sales or selling new homes and working for a builder is that it does offer an alternative to people, especially now, as you mentioned, Warren, with the inventory being so low. It's really just been
it's a boom.
It's gone really well. We're managing the growth well by really controlling the process and being as predictable and consistent as we can to help people get what they want at a price they can afford, and hopefully have some nicer standard features and a process that will win people over compared to our competitors.
Right. Let's talk about the process because it's a little slower process. It takes longer. I shouldn't say slower. Mm-hmm. It just takes longer versus when you're buying an existing.
Yeah.
So when I bring you a client and we've got them pre-qualified and you know that they're going to be purchasing a house and you do a contract, kind of step somebody through what happens after that throughout the building process.
Well, the first thing is obviously getting the purchase agreement put together after pricing out the home. One thing I like to do when you bring me your clients, I like to sit down and just go through with them a spreadsheet. It's about a 4.5-page spreadsheet that we devised, line items walking you through the house, talking about options or upgrades that you might want to make the home your own, mm-hmm. and what those cost. And then I give the buyer that spreadsheet, and that's kind of their wish list. I've always heard and always believed that buying a home, often like buying a car or even a pair of shoes, is a series of compromises. You know, we all want the Taj Mahal, but we all have a budget. So what I do is focus on helping people stay within their budget and their comfort level, price-wise, payment-wise, and take them through the things in the house that they can choose that are really going to affect their budget.
Okay.
Once we get that done and they feel comfortable with me and with what we're talking about at Pyatt Builders, then they'll write a purchase agreement. After the purchase agreement, they will have about a month later get an email from our new home showroom, which we call the Design Center. That staff will email the buyer and have them scheduled to come in for their selections appointment. That can take 4 to 6 hours.
And that's picking out everything from the color of their carpeting, the kind of cabinets, countertops, flooring in the bathrooms.
Exactly. To make their home their own. Put their own design signature on it. And the nice thing is, your buyers don't have to do that with me because I can't match my socks. You know that.
I understand.
Yes.
My wife tells me all my taste is in my mouth too. So
okay.
I can understand.
We have trained designers. They sit down and go through the process. It can take 4 to 6 hours and go through colors, different materials. If we priced out a level 2 laminate flooring and you might want to splurge a little to a level 3, you'll see those. If you want to maybe save a little money and look at a level 1, you can look at that too. we've already priced out level 2. If you see one of the other ones that you like, then you can make the choice then.
Okay.
Once the initial appointment's done, there will be a week waiting time where a buyer can take their book of information home and pricing of what they've selected and think about it for a week, and then come back and finalize in the last selections appointment, so that they don't feel like they're under any pressure to make these decisions that are part of their big investment.
Okay. Now, after that's all done and your building permits are pulled, you're ready to start building the house, and you get it up under roof. Okay, what happens then?
Well, once we get it under a roof, we actually have a pre-construction meeting
That's right. All right.
prior to the framing to begin.
Okay.
The foundation will usually be completed at that time, and the buyer will meet one of our field construction managers at the site to go over the prints, make sure that everything that you selected is on the prints, goes through the process of how we're going to build your home and how best to communicate any questions, concerns, ideas, things like that through our hotline to construction. We have someone who manages that. Her name is Andrea, and she takes care of the buyer through that process.
So good communication.
Good communication. That's something we're always striving for, and not something that's always been easy in this business, but we've put the staff in place to be able to take care of that, so you don't feel like you're being dragged through the process. You're actually being led through it, and we want you to understand it throughout.
Okay, good. So as we get close to the closing and everything is done in the house, typically there's a punch out that's done.
Yes.
And that's about how many days before closing?
Typically, you'll have the first punch meeting.
Explain what that is.
It's a walkthrough.
Okay.
The house is a little dusty, and there are little some things that need to be tidied up. And basically, we go through a punch list, and actually create a punch list, I should say, with the buyer, so that they're walking through with their construction manager, who's been in charge of the build the whole time, and making sure that there aren't any dings, blemishes, anything that was maybe installed incorrectly.
Sure. Any issues before closing.
And we'll tag everything with blue tape, and then everything after that meeting, we'll charge ahead and get all of those punch list items done that were done at the punch meeting. And then before closing, usually a day or two before closing, the buyer will come through with that same builder and inspect the home to make sure they're satisfied that we've built them a model quality home or better. One nice thing is that we do follow BAGI guidelines, which is the Builders Association of Greater Indianapolis, which holds us to a higher level to non-BAGI members, builders who are non-BAGI members. The tolerances and the quality practices are just a little tighter, and we feel like that's necessary to deliver a quality home to our buyers.
Well, that's good. Well, that kind of steps you through the process of building a home. And I like I said, I've done business with this guy for 20 years. They're great builders to work with, and I can personally recommend Greg to you. So if you're interested in thinking about building a home, please contact me. I'll give you my information at the end of this video blog, as I usually do, and then I'll be happy to hook you up with Greg and get you into a new house. Now, one last question I have for you, Greg. Is now a good time to buy a house?
Wow, now it's better than ever. Rates are still low.
It's always a good time.
The economy is getting better, so rates are probably going to start going up a little bit. I'm not really frightened about that, but it's always good to get on the ground level of these rates.
Folks, on everybody I ask, it's always a good time to buy a house.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Greg, thanks for coming in again, buddy. Good seeing you again.
Good seeing you too.
This is another important tip you need to know when you're thinking about buying a house. Look forward to our next one. Thank you much. Bye-bye now. Thanks for watching.